sure I don't forget. Wonderful. So yeah, again, welcome everyone to our ChatMap demo and community exchange webinar. Very excited that you're joining us today. What we have planned for today. So what to expect in this 1 hour and 30 minutes. We have this kind of optional 30 minutes to give us a lot of time for discussion. So again, a warm welcome to everyone for expressing an interest and for joining us in this space. We'll have a short icebreaker, again, connected to ChatMap. Then we'll hear from Emmy, who is really behind the kind of work on developing ChatMap, what it is and why it was created. I know some of you maybe are familiar, you have used it, some of you might have not. So we'll just explain why it was created as a citizen science tool, as an open mapping tool. And then we'll jump into the most exciting bit that I'm so thankful that we have 5 speakers. So we have 5, let's call them ChatMappers, so people who have used ChatMap in different projects, in different contexts, and they'll share their experience. So you hear from their experience, and we really hope that maybe you connect with these experiences. Maybe you'll inspire you to think of your own use cases. So we really want this also to be a conversation. You'll have time to ask questions, but also share your views or share your ideas. So it's very much, as we said, it's hearing about ChatMap, but very much a community exchange and hearing from all of you. You can use the chat throughout as well, and we'll have time as well for questions. Again, the webinar is 1 hour and 30 minutes. The 30 minutes, again, if you're able to stay and jump into more discussion and questions, that's wonderful. Again, a reminder, if you've joined previously some of our webinars, just abiding by our code of conduct, so making sure we are respectful, we're welcoming to everyone. As you saw, we're all joining from so many different places. Careful how we phrase our words, and maybe we have different opinions, maybe we disagree with being able to understand each other, and it's a space for sharing. So in the next few minutes, I know people are still joining us. That's our welcome, that's our icebreaker. We've just started it. And we're giving you 2 options. So you can add in the chat your name and where you're joining. Some of you also have done that. And we also can try, again, this is up to you. If you'd like to scan the code and you can join a WhatsApp or a Telegram group and try that. So you can share your location with an emoji. And then we can see after the webinar, we can also use that. Again, you making sure that you're happy if you're joining this WhatsApp group. There'll be other people in this webinar who are joining, or the Telegram group, but that could also be your community from the webinar, where we can try some of the things that you've learned on using ChatMap. So I'm giving people a few minutes. I'm gonna try that as well. Feel free, if you're not comfortable now joining the WhatsApp, you can also add to Zoom. Some of you already did that, which is wonderful. So let's see, some of you have joined. I know we like hands-on things, and I know most of you have a phone alongside maybe your laptop in this session. Great, let's try that. I'm gonna do that as well for a few minutes, so we all try this out. And yes, let's do that. Let's choose an emoji as well. We all like emojis. So Laura, and I'll read through in the chat as well. Give it another minute. I saw some of you have joined. I'm currently mainly on WhatsApp, so I'm following this one. Again, if you're happy to, there'll be other people from this webinar who are joining the WhatsApp or Telegram groups. Wonderful. Great. I love the emojis. That's Emmy's idea. Okay, give it another few minutes, and some of you already, we're not sharing the screens for the WhatsApp because it's numbers and people's location, but if you're there, just looking at my phone, we have some interesting emojis as well. Wonderful. Okay, give it another minute because we have, let's see how many people we have in the group, and we can see, and you can also tell us then how we can use the information in this group. Wonderful. We have nearly half of the people in this webinar there. Okay, giving it another minute. Welcome to those of you who are just joining us as well. We're just starting, saying hello in the Zoom chat or scanning one of these codes, and you can share your current location, as Amy mentioned. And we'll keep that group. So at the end, we can also see and share the slides as well after the webinar. Okay. Keep adding as we continue as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so inspired already seeing the different locations and in the chat, different places you're all joining us. So thank you for participating. Okay. So we're going to move into, as I mentioned, the section where you hear the what and why, especially if you're new to ChatMap. So I'll hand over to Emmy from our hot tech and data team, who's really behind the development of ChatMap and together with our community, and he'll speak about what that is. Over to you, Emmy.
Thank you, Petia. Hi, everyone. My name is Emilio Emi. I am software engineer manager here at HOT. And yes, I am the creator of this tool, ChatMap. Okay, what is ChatMap? ChatMap is a super easy to use tool. It's a web page that turns chats into maps, conversations into maps. It's a new way of creating maps. It's something different of what we are used to use. And the main goal of ChatMap is to lower the barrier of mapping, of open mapping, so everyone can be included and can map their own communities and participate in generating geospatial data and in mapping. So that is what we wanted to do with ChatMap from the beginning, to create a tool that makes mapping super easy and accessible. It works with WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. Currently, is most widely used with WhatsApp because it's the most common messaging app that people use. But together, between these three different messaging apps, there are something like 3.5 billion people using messaging apps. So people like you and me already have these apps installed on their phones. They are using them for communicating with friends, family, for work, for a lot of things. So we already know how to use them. And with ChatMap, you can take advantage of that to easily create maps. You just need a chat group like we share here in this webinar, where we are sharing locations and emojis. You need to create a WhatsApp group or a Telegram or Signal, just a regular group, and then ask people to share locations and a message. This location, this message could be a photo. It's commonly a photo. It's one of the most common uses to ask people to share a photo. But it can be also a video or now an audio, so you can create audio maps too. or can be a text, like in the case of what we are doing in this webinar. We are sharing an emoji that is also a text. So those are the possibilities, and it's always like that: location and then content. So location, for example, location, photo, location, photo. That is the way to use it. It doesn't matter if the content mixed between different users. So I share a location and you share a photo, and then I share the photo, and the content get mixed, because ChatMap will be solving that problem. Basically, it will look for a location of any person, and then it will look for a content that is close to that location to create the map. The recommendation is to create a group only for mapping, and having maybe another group for discussions and planning. That is mostly better, so you don't get issues with, for example, questions or other things that are not intended to be into the map. But if you are sharing only photos and location, you can also chat and use this chat group to chat and support mappers and do things there, and there will be no problem. So next slide, please, Pepe. Um, and yeah, and it says here why it was created as a citizen science and open mapping tool. The idea of ChatMap born in here in Latin America. I live in Argentina, in a rural town in Argentina, in the province of Cordoba. Talking with the director of the Latin American and Caribbean Open Mapping Hub, we had the need of using mapping data, using location data that was being received by a university during a disaster, the Porto Alegre floods. So we say how we can use this information, what we can do with that. And at the same time, we had this problem of people that wanted to participate in open mapping from their communities, but they didn't have the knowledge, the tech knowledge, in order to learn a map, an app like Everydoor or Osman or other field mapping apps, or even remote mapping apps like even the task manager or other things that maybe you might know. Or editing OpenStreetMap directly. So all of these things were not that accessible for a lot of, are not that accessible for a lot of people, because they maybe are with other things in their lives, other preoccupations, other things to put the focus. They like work or study, and maybe they are not have the time or the energy to learn things that maybe for someone like me, that I am a software developer and I work in geospatial data, is something that is super accessible, simple, or normal, common for me. For a lot of people, is something from another world. Is you have to, even understanding what is a coordinate is not something that simple for a lot of people. So basically, we had also that problem, and I am also a volunteer firefighter here in my community. We commonly also receive messages by WhatsApp in our case, because it's widely used here, asking for help. So because the streets doesn't have names here, known names. So when there is an emergency, it's common for people to send their location by WhatsApp. So with all these things, I started to create a small software, a small program that was uh, getting locations from chats that you can export from WhatsApp. And one things lived, moved to another, and we started to create this web tool that is what you can see right now in chatmap.hotosm.org, and where you can basically upload and export the chat and see a map there. And here we see a picture that is a real mapping project here in Latin America. I think this is, yes, this is in Colombia, and this is a mapping project for social and environmental issues, problematics that they have in their community. So you can see also how all the communities participating in this activity, and they are not only mapping, but they are also meeting and doing, in this case, like a ceremony in honor to the nature. So that is also something really wonderful about these tools, that everyone gets together and participates.
Wonderful.
So now people around the world is using ChatMap for a lot of different things, a lot of different use cases. So like in new and in innovative ways. And I am really excited today to hear some of the speakers that will share their stories about how they are using ChatMap around the world. So yeah, very happy to be
Thank
here
you,
too.
Emmy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Say huge thanks to Emmy, because as he said, as a developer, he made this happen, but that really happened because of all of you here, the community and the people who really see the need of the maps. I know a few people join us later, so we'll again, chat maps, it's this low barrier to entry. So maybe some of you don't know anything about geospatial data and maps. So I will now move into, we hear what it is. I shared the link again. There are also tutorials, but why we are here today is to hear the stories. So I'm really, really excited that today you'll hear the real examples of the stories of what we call the chat map versus those people who were involved in projects, in activities with our communities, and they used what Emmy just talked about. So different examples and different stories. So we have 5 amazing speakers today, as you can see, from different parts of the world, which is really, really exciting. We have Kingsley, Samson, Edna, Ponciano, and Silvina. So what we'll go through now is you'll hear from each one of them in probably 5 minutes, their story. So you hear why they decided to use ChatMap, what was the experience, what was the project experience, what was the use case, and who is involved in that activity. As you hear these stories, you will hear from each one of them. I really encourage you to think. If you have any questions, feel free to add in the chat. We'll have plenty of time to answer. But I really hope they act also as inspiration for all of you who might be new to ChatMap to think of what projects, what activities, which communities you're working with, and what might be use cases for you. Very excited. So our first speaker is Kingsley. Kingsley, over to you to introduce yourself and tell us your experience with ChatMap.
All right, thank you everyone. My name is Kingsley Chikachuku. I am the project manager to EcoMappers, that is the OpenStreetMap Rwanda. I am a surveyor and geospatial data scientist, and I'm actually happy to be here to share my experience on using ChatMap. Yeah, to me, first and foremost, I can actually say that ChatMap is one of the revolutionary tools that HOT have developed that is very, very easy to use, simple to use, and actually, our team as Community of OSM Rwanda was actually the first that used Fit Hot Tasking Manager. And I know what the struggle was. We spent time trying to test it, trying to link it with ODK, trying to use it in feed. Even at that, it was not really stable. But the truth is, ChatMap did not take us more than 1 minute to explain to people who have never understand anything that have to do with the tools. Like we actually mapped or used chat tools during trash mapping, but the truth is we met with the stakeholders and part of the community or the sector we worked in, and these people have not really have any experience about anything that have to do with geospatial technology, data collection, and rest of them. And I just take 1 minute to explain this is what we are going to do and this is how we are going to do it. And boom, within just 1 minute of explaining, and I just use my phone and give them example. We are about 45 of us, which include our community members and part of the sectors which we engage in the trash mapping. The most smartest thing about what I say that it is one of the smartest tools that what have developed that is very simple to use. Just with your smartphone, you can actually drive a very quality data, is that like I said, we just show them how to use it. And both those who understand what it means to use, just have your phone, and within a short period of time, range of 3 hours, we were able to collect almost 500, close to 500 points. Very easy and very simple. And one of the most sweet aspect of it is that you don't really have to stress yourself in the aspect of cleaning the data, trying to put them in this projection system or trying to move it from one place to another. It is just very simple, because after the whole data capturing, I just exported the map. And even those who have no idea of how to create map, how to use GIS tools like in aspect of producing map, just go to the website and then upload that particular exported chart, and boom, the map was created. And I know the struggle I had when I was trying to tag pictures using UMap, and then trying to put up the link, upload the picture from one website to another website, copy the link and try to attach it to UMap. But these smart innovative tools have eliminated such kind of rigorous processes of trying to upload pictures in different websites and bring it the link to actually display a point location. Everything just come roll in once you export the chart, both the tagging and everything will be done. I don't even know how where the picture have been uploaded, but it is very, very simple. As I know, then I used to try to use Wikimedia, Wiki Commons to upload picture and bring it and tag it. But this was done within a short period of time. For me, like I said, this is a very great tool, and it was a very great experience for us. Like I said, both those who have geospatial technology skills and those that does not have geospatial technology was able to use this. And as a community, before we have developed a processes of collecting data and reporting landslide in part of Rwanda, where we have a landslide issue. But we are now trying to engage with the community again, because they are using ODK, and this is really rigorous for us because most of those community members don't know anything about geospatial technology. And for them to report landslide issues, they have to pass through processes of trying to connect, log in, and then trying to capture, try to feed a lot of information. So we are looking at adopting a ChatMap in the aspect of reporting disasters in Rwanda, because it is simple. Anybody, just tell anybody when you see landslide or where there's landslide issue, just open your camera, snap, and upload. And with that, automatically you can get the location of where that landslide happened, and you can also get the picture of what happened here. So for me, this is one of the smartest tools that HOT have developed. And in my own suggestion, I will also, like I've suggested, it will also be nice a way we can also integrate some of these data down to OpenStreetMap database. So it will also be a very great one, assuming there is a place you map and you needed to put those data in the OpenStreetMap. So it will also be a kind of suggestion. But thank you so much, Hot, for creating these tools. It's really great. And then I will be yielding my mic here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kingsley. Thank you so much. I think it's amazing. I was thinking as you were speaking, I was saying 1 minute and people can engage. So that's amazing, some of the things you said. And for all of you hearing the stories, it's really nice, you know, to hear this example of mapping trash, but also thinking of other examples. So if people have any questions, feel free to add them in the chat as we hear more of the speakers. We can will engage, but please feel free to add any questions, any reflections as well on all the stories we're hearing. Very, very happy, Kingsley, to hear that you were able, you know, with also, you know, it's not a small number of community members and the engagement and the work that has happened. I'll hand over now to Samson. Samson, welcome. Thank you again for joining us. handing over to you to share, share your experience with ChatMap and how you use that. Just see.
Hello, thanks Petia, thanks Emmy, thanks everyone for joining. My name is Samson Gumenawe and I am based in Entebbe, Uganda. And I am so very excited to be part of this campaign and this webinar. So I am currently a GIS instructor at the Institute of Survey and Land Management, where I teach GIS cartography and actually open mapping, which was recently incorporated into our cartography curriculum. Actually, I was supposed to be even presenting that that kind of cooperation between the Institute of Survey and the open mapping communities here in Uganda. I was supposed to present at the State of the Map, but unfortunately I couldn't make it there. But yeah, we teach open mapping, including OpenStreetMap, Tasking Manager, and maybe at one point we shall incorporate ChatMap as well. So here are my stories about ChatMap. I think the first time I heard about it, I quickly reached out to Emmy because Emmy is really my good friend, and we met when we were still working together at the Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, and we kept the relationship. So as an instructor at the institute, I noticed that there's always a challenge with training students, especially the cartography students, training them with the open mapping technologies. So I quickly started an initiative that provides internship opportunities for students, and that organization is called Optus Academy of Geoinformatics. So in the recently concluded internship, we had an opportunity to invite Emmy to give us a training about ChatMap, which was very interesting, very easy to use for everyone, even those that had experience about the OpenStreetMap, those that had no experience, they found it actually very easy to use ChatMap. So Emmy gave us a very nice training. Actually, it was like 2-hour session about ChatMap, and everyone's mind was quickly running to what they can do with ChatMap. And so this semester, we opened the institute and resumed our normal teaching. And then we got an opportunity to participate in the World Mapping Day Open Mapping Challenge, where I had to initiate the entire class that we have to participate in the challenge, because one, it is something that we have already been trained on how to use, and two, it would be a very good field experience, and three, it would really contribute to a common cause at a global scale, which was cleaning and making sure that the environment is good. So we participated in the world mapping, in the World Cleanup Day, where we used ChatMap to map the location of illegal dumping sites in one of the communities that is near the institute where I teach. So in that photo, those that you see are some of the students participated in the World Cleanup Day, and they were tagging trash points using ChatMap, where we later created a map that shows the location of those points, and that map we shared it with the authorities, the local authorities, and it was really helpful to see that there was illegal trash in some of those locations, and the local authorities are now using the map to make sure that they keep monitoring those places and making sure that if they find trash, they collect it, or they keep monitoring those places. So now that was one experience. The other experience is the students that I teach, they are now in the period when they are proposing to do their final research projects. And they are open to use any tool that they want as long as it solves a problem as part of their research. And I have so far 2 students that are going to be using ChatMap as one of the tools that they are going to use to collect data, but also to get other support from other students. So one of the students is going to be mapping the location of old vehicle tires, because we all know that vehicle tires are not something that 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 can be biodegradable, or so we want to know where those old tires go after they have been removed from the vehicles. And he's going to be mapping the location of fuel stations where they do car services, and he's going to be asking them where they put their tires, whether they throw them in the environment, whether they burn them, and he's going to be taking photos, tagging them using ChatMap. And later, we shall be able to develop maps from that information. So
Wonderful.
the other student is actually going to do more or less a similar project for mapping waste collection points to know which local areas within Entebbe municipalities are more cleaner than others, which ones are facing challenges with hygiene. So her idea is that where she finds more waste collection points that are just dumped illegally, that area is having challenges with hygiene. And in areas where there will be less or very few waste collection points that are illegal, then those areas will be doing well in terms of hygiene. So she's not going to map only the illegal ones, but she will also be mapping the location of those waste collection points where you find that they have waste baskets, recycling points, landfills, if there will be any. And she will also share online maps with the authorities to use to, monitor waste and garbage collection in those areas. So
Thank you, Samson.
we
Now, yeah,
hope
let's
that
wrap
it's
it
going
up on
to
kind of.
really be nice. Yeah, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much, Samson. I'm so inspired myself and probably others as well in the different cases. I loved the stories you shared with the students, and so all of them, the entire class coming together as common goal. That I think is maybe something coming through the other stories. We'll share the slides afterwards because maybe people can reach to you as well if they have similar projects or ideas, especially connected to the students, which is really inspiring. So huge thank you, Samson. I'm sure there's a lot more to share as well, but the idea is people can reach to also to any one of you as well and engage more in the discussion. So thank you so much, Samson, for all the engagements. Okay, I hope everyone's maybe you're getting inspirations or ideas. Please add some comments, reflections in the chat. We will have time for discussion, but if as you listen, things come up, please add them to the chat. We are moving to our third speaker. We have 5 speakers today, so I'm very excited that we have Edna joining us today, who also share her story of using ChatMap. Over to you, Edna.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Edna Dindi, a geospatial analyst, but not yet officially. I'll be graduating in December this year. And I'm also passionate about utilizing open mapping technologies to do projects related to community development. Okay, so my experience with ChatMap has actually been so fun. I mean, just as Emilio said, WhatsApp is the most common communication tool among different people. So from the tutorials on how to use ChatMap to the fieldwork that we did on 20th September during the World Cleanup Day, it was fun and it was easy. I mean, we got to use ChatMap to be able to map locations of trash in Kibera. Kibera is an informal settlement in Kenya, and in most areas, waste management is either poorly coordinated or neglected totally. So it was a really interesting way to involve the communities from there. And also, OSM Kenya is made up of different students from different campuses. So bringing them together and being able to use such a tool to map the waste locations and also show the output to the community members that we had there that day. It was so interesting. So after the World Cleanup Day, the process of downloading the data and also just uploading it, it was so easy. So I can say we didn't really experience any hardships in the entire process. And that's what makes it easy. I mean, anyone with even no geospatial background or no tech background is able to use this tool. And after that, we also are able to encourage students to utilize this tool in their daily activities. So for example, some are using ChatMap to map different facilities in their schools so that they can just be able to see the photo of the facility, especially for the freshmen, the new students. They have no idea what's happening around them. So it is also helpful to navigate around campus. And also we did an exercise on mapping health facilities around a certain campus, and it was fun because previously I remember we had an exercise in school which involved mapping buildings, rental buildings in around the university, and it was so hectic. But now when I look back, I wish this tool had existed then, because then it would have been easy to just be able to know the full details of a specific building without having to struggle so much. I mean, previously we could just get the location and maybe note down the number of floors and the building name. But now with ChatMap, I think we are going to redo the same exercise, because with just a photo, we'll be able to see the number of floors of the building, the name, and how it looks like. So ChatMap is a really interesting tool. And as Kingsley had mentioned, we would wish to see how that data can now be integrated into OpenStreetMap.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Edna. And yeah, I picked up as well on this maybe question we can discuss. Thank you so much for engaging in this activity, for sharing the story. I think participants in this webinar, you can see we have a few connected to World Cleanup Day. I'll mention at the end, there's also specific like training on that use case, but for us, it's just thank you so much, Edna, for sharing that experience. I think we hardly ever hear connected to technology people saying, "Oh, there was no hardship, and it was easy to do what you're aiming for, to map these features and to get people together." Thank you, everyone, for adding really nice photos so we see the people, because I know we talk about the technologies, but it's the people who are making this work. So hope you're all staying with us. Again, add questions as we go along. We heard so far from Kingsley, again, around waste mapping, waste data collection. We heard from Samsung, connection to the students as well, how they were involved, and Edna as well on waste management. But all of them are thinking of other use cases, right? What are the other maybe use cases? What are the connections to OpenStreetMap? So please, as you listen, think about, your stories, what you can add any questions, and I'll hand over to our next speaker. So Silvina, very excited to have you join to share your story with using ChatMap. So handing over to you.
Thank you very much for having me today. Good morning, everyone. My name is Silvina Meritano. I am a sociologist, social worker, and researcher from Argentina. And today I want to share with you my experience as a workshop leader teaching ChatMap to students and also people from different communities. And with one of my friends, Lucila, we carry out workshops during the last year in different rural towns, but also in cities in Argentina. And we work with people ranging age from 15 to 85 years old. So we're facing a lot of challenge and we learn a lot of this experience. One of the most interesting aspects of ChatMap, as a lot of the other speakers mentioned, is the possibility of mapping without using large technologies or difficult technologies. In our case, working with people from popular neighborhoods with low-income settlements, it's very important to have this type of tools to teach to others, because it's an important way to integrate community in the mapping process. And one of the most interesting things that I learned is the way in which ChatMap could integrate different generations. In this image, we are looking at a group of teenagers using ChatMap in the last workshop that we organized. But also we have a very interesting activity with an enthusiastic group of seniors who participate in a large mapping activity, sharing all the knowledge of their communities. So it's a very interesting tool to unite the communities and having this possibility to work together. Another important aspect for me is the low barrier of accessibility of this tool, because you are able to produce information without an OSM account. As Samson also mentioned, sometimes it's very difficult for people learning how to create an account and mapping in OpenStreetMap. And I think this tool gives you the opportunity to having a large survey of points of interest, and I don't know, maybe also integrate all this local knowledge in an easy way. And after, you have the chance to curate this information and also adding tags and select the right information to add to OpenStreetMap. And this is very important because give us the opportunity to improve the data quality of the data that we collect. And I like to share a great proposal that emerged in one of the last workshops that we conducted. And it's related to a large national network that one of the people who participate in this workshop have the idea of connect. And she is right now making a large survey across Argentina of organizations that work with violence toward women. So in this case, she teach very quickly the way to map using ChatMap, and they are adding different points to making visible the different organizations and making accessible all this information for people. So to conclude, I would like to say, if you are, I don't know, teacher or maybe social worker as myself, or anthropologist or community leader, it's a really nice tool, and I will recommend you that give it a ChatMap a try, because it could improve the way of we prepare mapping and we could share information. So give it ChatMap a try.
Oh, thank you so much, Silvina. Thank you so much for the wonderful insights. And I loved like what you also picked up on the different generations and really thinking of, we talk a lot about bringing people together, with knowledge or no knowledge of OSM, but also generations. And I loved your call back. And yeah, we'll bring that to other speakers as well of the different examples. I think that's what we want to go more into the discussion of what that can be used. So very excited, yeah, to hear from you. And I know you'll be using it more, so it's kind of an ongoing sharing with all of us. Okay, everyone. Hope we're going to our last speaker, and then we'll be hearing from all of you. As well to introduce Ponciano, who is going to tell us about his experience, I think more recent. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for all of you for joining and sharing the different stories. So over to you, Ponciano, for an introduction and to hear from you about your experience.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter. I hope all participants can hear me clearly. Yes. First of all, thank you for hosting Peter as well and also Amy for allowing me to be involved in this webinar and more proudly because I can share my experience and what I have done with my community here in Timor-Leste regarding the use of ChatMap and also open mapping tools in general. My complete name is Ponciano Costa de Jesus, but just call me Ponci in short. And I think I am the younger in this webinar. No, it's just joke. But yes, I'm as a fresh graduated from National University of Timor-Leste in Timor-Leste. In majoring geoscience and GIS, but most of my work focus on climate change adaptation and environment using geospatial data tech. That's why I founded my own local NGO here, call it GESIC Timor-Leste, is a Geographic Information System group that stand as a youth-led organization focused on developing and also promoting the utilization of geospatial data for climate change adaptation across the country, Timor-Leste. Maybe you can next slide. As maybe some of you don't know about Timor-Leste, but in general, Timor-Leste is a small country located in Southeast Asia and just got independence in 2002 and stand as a very newest country in Southeast Asia. And today, I would like to focus on share my experience on how our community here using ChatMap is not a time ago, but just a few months ago when we start our work integrated to ChatMap. So as I said that I founded my own organization, JESIC, and most of our work focus on promoting and utilization of open mapping tools. That's why we are very proud when we connect and also collaboration with Humanitarian and OpenStreetMap team, and they provided us a lot of technical support and resources focused on open mapping tools. And that's why, and we are really grateful when we see how this initiative to launch the ChatMap, tools that very easy to community to use and also very familiar with those who haven't have experience on geospatial, on something related to technological. And why we want to integrate our work with ChatMap? Because when we integrate our work with ChatMap, we try to pilot these tools with waste mapping in Dili. So this is not an official project from our team, but this is a pilot that we try to use ChatMap to see how this app can support us on mapping. And that's why we start in June to July, use ChatMap with our OSM community here to integrate how ChatMap can help our community to report and submit any information related to waste disposal and related to community that throw the waste improperly to the place of waste. We start this initiative focus on Dili as a capital city of Timor-Leste because we know that Dili, it's like every year the population continue to increase and impact directly to improper waste disposal. But beside this problem, we discovered that all of the population in Timor-Leste are mostly young people, and most of them are very knowledgeable in technological uses, focus on social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's why when hot initiative to establish ChatMap, this is a good opportunity for our young people, including community, because WhatsApp is a easy tools for them to use to communicate each others. And even though like Telegram is really limited in Timor-Leste, but WhatsApp is it's very famous platform that most of people, even community in rural area, use these tools. That's why we want to engage with community to use these tools on mapping. And this is the first experience when we try ChatMap to waste. And over 1 to 2 months, our community, our young people from YSM community try to submit around 300 or almost 400 point of waste across the Dili. I think this is a good, I think this is like expected number that our team want to achieve when we try these tools in our community. You can access the link that I share in the chat. And the second one is not today, but for the future, we already established a plan for anticipatory action for flood because we partner with different agencies here who work on disaster risk reduction. And we want to establish early warning system for different villages in Timor-Leste focus on flood. That's why WhatsApp would be a tools that replace our work so far, because so far we only use USAID as our tools for data reporting. But now we find out that ChatMap would be better to replace these tools to even more help our community to report and to submit any issues or any information related to sign and system that we establish in the field. I think this is what that I want to share with you. And thank you very much again for allowing me to participate in this webinar.
No, thank you so much, Ponsi. Thank you. Yeah, huge thanks for sharing. I think interesting as well, you know, in your case, people maybe with experience or not, but also even people who are familiar or using other tools find the use case as well with using ChatMap. I myself, I'm just going to go back to that slide where we had all the speakers because I want to say huge thanks to all of you. I think it shows the breadth of, you know, locations of use cases as well. We heard around waste collection, quite a few. We'll share at the end a training actually we have specifically on that. In different places, combining different age groups, I think, different user groups, different stories. And I think what's really important and part of this webinar as well is, you know, bringing people together. I think this community is growing of what we call on chat mappers. So as I said, the webinar is 1.5 hours. We have 30 more minutes for discussion. I know there were already some questions that I want to pick up on, but I quickly just wanted to say, if anyone needs to, you know, leave a bit earlier, we'll move now to our discussion and questions. Here are a lot of useful links for some of you. I'll add them as well in the chat. But now is the exciting part. Now I would like to see if people in this group, I have myself questions, but I saw there are some really interesting ones in the chat that we would like to, that I'll maybe kind of pick up. I think some are more technical. Maybe we'll start with some of these clarifying ones. And I would love to hear from others in the room if you have any reflections or specific questions. I'll move back to this slide because this is our next 30 minutes on discussion. So you can add in the chat, or you can also raise your hand, and would love to hear a few more voices from people. So I'll give it a minute, and maybe in that time, as you're thinking of questions you have for our speakers, I think, Amy, we had a few actually as people that are more maybe clarifying that we can start with at the beginning around, even when Kingsley was saying, where the picture is going, what is the kind of privacy and data access? Maybe we can briefly mention that, how that works on the technical side, and then we'll jump into the stories.
Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing your stories. It was really, really great to hear about how you are using ChatMap. So yeah, first question about privacy and data access. Basically, in the way ChatMap works, when you upload the zip file that you export from WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal, everything, all the data is not going to anywhere but your browser. It's not going to a server. It's not being uploaded anywhere yet. Everything happens in your browser. So in that sense, in that step, privacy is guaranteed by that. You are not sharing any personal data with anyone yet. Of course, that you are using a chat group in, for example, in one of these platforms. So we don't have control over that. So you have to be also careful about how you use social media, like any other thing that you do that is not related to, in this case, to ChatMap or to mapping. Or so if you are creating a social media group and you are sharing conversations and inviting people there, you have to be careful as usual. But technically, when you upload the file, it will be only on your browser. So, and you can now also make some changes like adding tags or removing points, like do some kind of validation of the data directly on ChatMap. You can download the file to your computer to open it again and continue the work. But it will be a file. It's not saved in a server, so it's still under your control. It's in your computer and in your browser. It's like using QGIS or any other software that you can use. But it's running on your browser in this case. That is how ChatMap works. So in that step, everything happens on your computer and in the browser. If you look inside the file that what the ChatMap gives you, you will find inside the zip, you will find a GeoJSON and the pictures or the media that was shared in there, like pictures, videos, audio. And you will find a GeoJSON with all the points, and each point will have the coordinate, of course. If there is a file, you will find the name of that file, for example, a picture, and you will find the username. So the username is still there in that in that zip file, because sometimes you might find it useful to have it. The username could be the name of the contact that you have on your phone, so on the person that export the chat. If I have you on my contacts, you will see the name of the person. If you don't have that person in your contacts, you will find the phone number. for that person. But then the next step, when you upload this file to UMap, in order to create a map that is on the internet, in that case, yes, all the data will be uploaded to a server and will stay there, of course, because if not, we will not be able to keep that link on the internet. So in that case, yes, all the data will be uploaded there, but not the phone numbers or the name of the person. That part will be removed from the data. So on the UMap, there is only the point with the content related, a message, a photo, and so on. Maybe you have to be a little bit careful of if you want to be really careful about the sharing personal data. Check the map once you upload it to ChatMap. Check the points to see what is there. Maybe there is a picture that don't belongs to the map. Or maybe you are including all the messages and there is a message that says, hey, hello, I am Emilio from Argentina, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you don't want to include that into your map. So when you open the exported chat in ChatMap, you have the opportunity to check all the points. You can even use the arrows of your keyboard in order to look every point and remove the points. There is an option to remove each point that you don't want to belong to the map. So you can remove them, and you can also use the tag option if you want to use that for something. But
I was wondering, Emmy, if any of our, because what Emmy said is right? It's creating the groups, explaining to the users, and then, ChatMap is in browser. Maybe we do an FAQ on this. This is a good opportunity, right, to answer this question. It's in browser, only in your app in the server. Did any of our speakers today did you have any challenges when you were adding people to your groups? And they were adding their details, maybe they didn't know each other, and when you uploaded to ChatMap, did you face any challenges, or how did you communicate with them? Maybe we can hear from one of you exactly this point around privacy and engaging people in these groups first and then uploading to ChatMap. I'm not pointing if anyone is happy to say. Maybe it was really easy because the communities knew each other. I don't know, I'm making assumptions, but it would be good. I think it's connected to what people were asking around privacy. Let's see. Maybe
for my case,
yes, sounds.
For my case, I will say that the community already knew each other because there was already an existing class group or like a WhatsApp group for the entire class where they make all the other communications, like there's a lecture coming, or Mr. Samson is not coming today, let's enjoy. There was like that kind of already existing group. But also when we got trained by Emmy, some time back, we had created a group as well. But also during that internship, we also had an internship group. So when I created the group for the World Cleanup Day, it was easier for the link to be shared in any of those other groups, like the class group and the internship group, and then everyone would join quickly because there was a communication prior that, okay, we are going to be participating in this challenge and it's good, it involves mapping, and we shall use ChatMap. So when it was shared to the group, the class group, everyone in the group was willing to join and explore more about what other people had learned about ChatMap. So yeah, but I also believe that it is easier to connect with almost everyone in the world through WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is like very, very easy for everyone to connect. So, even if you can't reach out to someone directly, but when you share like the group link, because they can view and see what the group is all about before they join, and if they find it interesting, then they can join. So yeah, that's what I can say. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Samson. Yeah, I think if I summarize from it, sometimes in existing groups that also have the group is engaging and you're pasting there the link so people know how to engage or communicating, based on trust. And then Amy, I think, explained the technical part, right, of where in ChatMap is a browser, how you can potentially look at the users, like if you need to clean the data, and going on from there. We have a few more questions in the chat, but I'd love to hear other voices. So we have one hand raised. So I'm gonna hand over to you, David, Martin, if you ask your questions, and then we'll continue answering the other questions in the chat. Let me see if I can. Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, we can. If you just to say your name, maybe where you're joining us from, and over to you with questions or suggestions.
Okay, my name is Stacy, and I'm from Nigeria. Hi to our speakers and our participants. It's nice to hear your experiences, ChatMap, and how you can use it to improve your community and all. Actually, ChatMap has brought a very important dynamic in the aspect of open mapping and how we can add value to open data. Earlier this year, we had to do a campus-wide waste management activity, and we hadn't discovered ChatMap, so we had to go and pick just points and create a map. And when we presented it to one of our sponsors, one of our partners from Just Green Center, they were like, the map was too complicated. And we simplified the map. So while the participants, while the speakers were talking about their experiences, it just hit my mind. If we had discovered ChatMap, the map we created would have been a little bit more colorful and more meaningful to someone who is just seeing a map for the first time, or someone who is not too familiar with what the map is and what it talks about and all that. So again, I'm also the president of the Youth chapter here in University of Jos Nigeria, and the Nuga Games it's an annual athletic activity that happens in the universities every now and then, and my university happens to be hosting this year. So we are looking to see how we can come in as youth mappers or as custodians of open geospatial data, and custodians of not just open geospatial data, but open geospatial data that can be used to create themes and add color to whatever we find ourselves doing. So I don't know if our speakers or maybe our participants I'm trying to sample an opinion. We've played a bit around with some initiative or ideas on how we can come in the Nuga Games and see how we can participate. So I don't know if our speakers have any idea, any innovative idea on how our chapter can come in using geospatial technologies or geospatial data to add value and color to the athletic event that is happening in the university. Thank you.
Okay. I was cutting off a bit, but first of all, I love the story how you said that, a map, you can simplify the map if you had knowledge of ChatMap earlier. So again, this webinar, maybe all of you, it's spreading the word, trying it out. And if I understood correctly, so Youth Mappers, you're part of Youth Mappers in Nigeria, which is amazing. We love Youth Mappers, and there's such a great community across the world. So if I understood, it's more related to an athletic, like kind of championship that you mentioned. Is that right?
Yes, it's an event. It's an annual event that happens every year.
Yeah.
Universities host that event. So my university is actually hosting this year. So we are looking to see how we can come in, add color to it as using geospatial technologies or open data. How can we add color to it? We've had a couple of ideas that we are playing around with, but I as the president, I find myself attending this meeting, and I thought it would be wise to sample some opinions from our speakers or maybe our participants and see if we can get other ideas or perspectives on how to go about it.
Yeah. Are there any initial reflections? I think it's quite a, broad, I guess, depending on what kind of collection, like what specific, data collection can be interesting. Any initial reflections from the other speakers? I would always say, the slide I had about joining the kind of ChatMappers, community. We're currently on Slack, but like we could also brainstorm there with others. I'll just add this briefly. Any initial thoughts? I know it's a kind of broad question, right? Because it's maybe understanding what specifically within, like when the activities happened, where maybe it will be interesting to know, Davis, with
the
kind of with these
activities.
championships and kind of maybe what kind of sorry, this is me, but I'm sure our speakers might have more ideas initially.
Okay. The activity is an athletic activity. It features football, features basketball, handball, volleyball, and all that. There's a track and field event, and all that. So it's actually going to be happening from 6th to 16th of September, 2025. So it's just around the corner and all that. So that is just a snapshot of what the event looks like. But it's going to be more of a sporting activity, and yes, more sporting activities and all that, if that makes it any clearer.
Yeah. Anyone has done anything with sporting activities on Amy?
Well, no, maybe one. Oh, sorry. Yes,
Sorry,
Sylvie.
over to you, Silvina.
No. Sorry, not with sport activities, but maybe this idea, if the people is from different part of the country, maybe they could add information or pictures about the place when they are training or preparing themselves for participating in this large event, and could be a magnificent way to show the color and the difference between the people and the way in which, I don't know, they train, or the way that when they are preparing for this, and you could share that map as part of the event preparation. I don't know, I was thinking about that.
I love the brainstorm, because you picked up as well before, Sylvina, on the different people that join together. So I think that's like really interesting, maybe it's not around age or generations, but like where they're training or joining from. Anyone else?
No, I was about to say something similar to that you could map the places where you play the sports, add information to the basketball fields or things like that, or where the different teams or participants are. So things like that, and we also sometimes we find that we could like use ChatMap in a way like for playing like kind of a game, like for example mapping certain things that you have to find into the field. That could be also a way to use ChatMap in a different way, like it's more like a playful way, like treasure these games where you have to find specific things into the field. It's an opportunity to go together to the field and do something together. So yeah, that is also one idea that we were discussing.
Hope that's useful, Davis. I would suggest we could add this even to our ChatMapper group in case you're on Slack or other places, and people can add more ideas to that. I know we have quite a few questions, so again, if anyone wants to speak up and we hear a few more voices, feel free to raise your hand. Let me go through the list. If not, we can also kind of put this together and share with everyone afterwards. So I think we talked already about the technical ones. So one is, can the data from ChatMap be consumed by other GIS apps? That's a more, I guess, more one for you, Amy.
Yeah, short answer. Yes, in the sense that you have a GeoJSON file that you can use. For now, there is no way to, for example, look into the pictures at least easily in other software. I didn't try it really to do it. I know that in QGIS there is a plugin where you can display pictures for every point. Maybe that could be something that we could explore. And with Esri, I don't have too much knowledge, so I don't know. But yes, there is a GeoJSON, and you can use it if you want in any practically in any software for GIS. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy. It's nice that we have a few kind of technical things that we can also clarify as people ask. We have a few questions, I think, from Ms. Saka. I'll try to like summarize them because some are more technical. So one is, if I understand correctly, can we collect a lot of data with ChatMap, like field maps or combos? This seems like the question is every point, quantitative data. So it's asking more information. I think that's one of the questions. And maybe again, confirming, Amy, adding to this on, the servers, which we just explained, and can ChatMap work offline, which I think is the upload feature.
Yeah. So about adding like more data, like ChatMap is mostly a very simple and tool that where you can add like one contact to a point. So if you want, for example, to add several things to one point, you have to share a point, share something, share another, the same point again, or something like that. So it's not really that simple. But we are working on a new version where we are planning to solve this problematic. But you will have to wait for the next year. So we will have a new surprise, a new version that we hope we will solve those kind of problems. In some cases, you can, if you are using Android for the test that we did, you can share a photo and add a caption to the photo, and that text should be included into the map. But this is something that we are still testing. So for now, the recommendation is that you collect data, for example, pictures, and then you add the information afterwards. So you have the picture, for example, with the name of the place, what kind of place it is, if it is a shop or a health post or whatever. So looking at the picture, you can feel more information. So for now, that is the recommended use. So you keep it simple for people to collect data, and all the more difficult work of that you have to do with data, you can do it afterwards. So yeah, that is the thing. And the other question, sorry, it was about.
It was about, one was repeating, can ChatMap share data with the server? I think we confirmed that it's in the browser, but once you upload it if you use UMap, that then connects to a server.
Yes,
and then,
yeah. Yeah, that's the case for now. Maybe in early next year, you will have also the opportunity to save a simple version of the map directly into ChatMap, and if you want to add more data, you can move it to UMap, so it will be easier. But yes, that's the case. Then the other thing that I saw, there are some more questions about privacy. So if you can blur the faces and things like that, it's not for now. No, it's like there are two things that maybe we should work soon, and one is privacy in the sense of blurring faces or plates. For now, you are responsible for that. So if you don't want to publish that data, you should validate each point and remove the points that you don't want. That is basically what you have to do right now. maybe in the future we can add some service that we automatically blur faces if you choose to. That is something that takes a little bit of effort and is not cheap thing to do. So we have to plan really well how to do it. So that is something that we are planning to do, but it's not available for now. For now, you are responsible for that. And then I think.
Does it work offline? Actually, that's one question, the URL we shared.
Yeah, and for offline use, yes, it works offline. In the sense, because when you share data into for example, a WhatsApp group or even in Telegram or Signal, you share data and you don't have connection. The location will be there because it's a GPS coordinate, so you don't need internet connection in order to get the coordinate. So it will be there on the chat, and you can share a picture or text or whatever, and it will be there. It will be like keep waiting for having connection, and when you have connection, all the data will be sent into the chat. So in that sense, it works. On most of our tests, it worked really well. We have one case where all photos and locations were sent at the same time. So it was like kind of confusing for ChatMap and it didn't work. So we are working in that use cases, but we will solve that issue soon, we hope. So yeah, it mostly works offline too.
Great. I think there was one other question which I think relates to this additional. So are there any plans about adding linear or polygon feature in the future, which I think connects to kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that is also, it's not available now, and it will take more time, but we are planning to also experiment at least with that. Like we need to change several things because we will add another option on how to use ChatMap that will be different. It will be an additional way of using it. We will keep the way we are using it right now, but we plan to add a new functionality that we hope where we will be able to share live location. That is something that is not available right now. You have to share your current location right now. If not, it will not work. But we hope to also support things like live location. And if we are able to support live location, we will be able to record tracks. And for example, for mapping roads or things like that. We are about to experiment more with that. So we will have news, I hope, in the first quarter of the next year.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy. I'll pause for a second. I think we answered all the questions. I think the main message is more on the technical side. There will be future improvements, but at the moment, the questions on privacy, it's important if you're starting to use it, considering who is involved. When you upload the images at the moment, it is the responsibility of that person creating that. So that's an important thing. And in the future, there will be more improvements, but that's why we also need that community of the feedback that you all share. I'm just reading through another example. I think this webinar was also an opportunity for people to share, potential use cases. We heard from our amazing speakers. So yeah, just very briefly reading through as well from the chats from Nisreen as well. We have post-conflict damage map, local knowledge mapping for natural resources. Would love to hear Nisreen more if that's something maybe you'll be starting. But yeah, villagers and local farmers share short voice notes or text about seasonal water sources. Voice notes is now available, right, Amy? Am I right? No, in ChatMap. People can add voice notes.
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
I was just reading the idea about, the villagers in local enforcement sharing voice notes that's supported by ChatMap as well, correct? Yeah, because I was like, oh, exciting. We didn't hear
Yes,
a
yes.
specific case
Yeah.
with that, but it's another use case that, yeah, sounds really interesting, Nisreen. Yeah, would love to hear more and maybe sharing. I wasn't sure if that's something that's happened already or you'll be working on, but would love to hear more on that.
Now that you mentioned voice notes, this is something pretty new that it was. This is available since 2 weeks ago, I think, or 1 week ago, where that you can also create maps with audio. So you can record a voice or also other things like sounds, like for example, sounds of nature or of your city or music. So you can create a map of the different music in your country or in your community. So we hope to also start to get more and more innovative maps to show different things about your communities and not only um, like data for like the classic point with some information, but also things that are not commonly shared in a map. Like for example, these things that are more related to culture and to the arts and other things. In some cases, people also share a picture of street art or things that also are really nice to see and to promote the culture and the arts in the different places around the world. So
amazing, thank you, Emmy. I think we're nearly up to time, so I would want to say huge thanks first for Emmy for doing all the development work, but engaging and really driving the development of ChatMap. Huge thanks to our speakers with their stories. Thank you, Kingsley. Thank you, Samson, Edna, Silvina, and Ponzi. Thank you so much for sharing the story and your use case of ChatMap. I hope that's, thank you all of you for joining and listening in. We would love to hear more from you. Here you still have this slide. I think we'll be staying here for some time on how you can continue engaging. So again, adding the link, we'll make sure we share the slides after this event. You can watch the tutorial on how to use it if you're new. We're using Slack at the moment as one of our ways to engage with the community. So you have this link to join it and ChatMap, and similar to how Davis was brainstorming about ideas, you can add ideas there or hear more of your stories. And you can reach to us as well, email and contributions. Huge thanks. We love hearing from you. So if you have ideas, if you want to share maybe your stories, maybe you're using ChatMap and we don't know, you want to share the story, there is an opportunity to do that. Happy to do more community sessions. Huge thanks. I'm very excited and inspired on what next. And as Emmy said, there'll be more things coming up in the future and improvements. So thank you, everyone. I'll stop sharing. And yeah, we'll wrap up. If you want to wave goodbye and have your camera, feel free to do that. Otherwise, enjoy